Through the years, the Magic Fund has helped grow the city of Minot, but recently there's been controversy in how the money is allocated and where it's going. Back in 1990, the voters in Minot approved a portion of the 1% city sales tax for use in economic and industrial development. The funds accumulated for this purpose are called the Minot Area Growth by Investment and Cooperation, or as many know it, the Magic Fund. Kiara Brown outlines the history, guidelines, and fiscal controls of the process and how it continues to support the growing city.
The primary purpose of the Magic Fund is to create new jobs, save existing jobs, expand the local tax base, increase capital investment, and generally to expand the primary sector financial base of the area.
It's a tool. We compete across the board with communities, not only in North Dakota, but across the United States. And we need these economic development tools. And ultimately, if we do our jobs, we're increasing the tax base, which also then helps with property tax relief and some of the things that really matter.
The approval process starts with board members of the Minot Chamber EDC. If the board decides the application does not meet Magic Fund requirements, the request stops there. If the board does approve the application, it's passed to the Magic Fund Screening Committee, who is appointed by the mayor and confirmed by the City Council. If the committee recommends approval of the application, it then moves to City Council for final say.
So there's really kind of 3 steps in the process to move forward, and it really is ensuring that everyone's being fiscally responsible, that we're doing our due diligence to ensure that it's meeting the intent of what the guidelines are set out to do.
But recently, that intent has been deemed controversial with taxpayers, stating funding has gone to businesses that have a conflict of interest with the Magic Fund, which sparked a revision of the Magic Fund guidelines.
What we try to do, though, is organize it so it's really clear to any applicant that uses of the Magic Fund must support one or more of the following goals: create new jobs, save existing jobs, expand the local tax base, increase capital investment, improve the entrepreneurial climate of the region, and enhance workforce solutions.
The guidelines are split into 3 tiers: primary sector, which is the heavy-hitting businesses that would need millions of dollars allocated to them. The next tier down is the State of North Dakota programs, which funding maxes out at $260,000 per application. Then the 3rd tier is small business, which ties into flex pay programs and serves as a loan, not a grant. Another revision is any person that sits on a Magic Fund committee or board and has a tie or relationship with a business applying for Magic Fund money will not receive a vote in the 3-step approval process to avoid any sort of conflict of interest.
We carefully, and through the updates that we've made, we're very clear in full transparency if there is any tie. But one of the things that we did update in here is the language around how we all disclose any connections to any business. And I think that's the other part too, is Minot still is a small town. And so we want to follow our conflict of interest guidelines and are fully transparent, even if there isn't a direct connection, making sure that we follow our guidelines and our policies and are very clear there.
These revisions are set to ensure a clear understanding for applicants and for taxpayers who contribute to the fund.
The biggest takeaway from it, I hope that all people take time to understand what the tools are. And if you look back to the history of the Magic Fund, it really was established in the 90s to support economic development, and still today, that's what the intent is.
All entities hope that this fund not only helps our city grow, but also secures the economy for our local businesses. For KX News in Minot, I'm Kiara Brown.
All Magic Fund revisions will be set by the end of the year. Next week, Kiara will focus on some successful and unsuccessful applications of the Magic Fund and what the fund will look like in 2023 once this year's allocations are complete.